What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I am going to be doing a touch-up or repainting, whichever way you want to look at it, and it's going to be done by, or not by, on Anguirus from the Showa series, the early movies. Now this Anguirus is a minifigure, but all of y'all probably know that I do more with the minifigures mostly. But yeah, this figure is a pretty good figure. Only thing is the tail going up like this, but I'm good with that. But I've been wondering something for a while now. Ever since I had this figure, something bothered me. Well, it was two things. Mine had its head twisted like this, and y'all's is probably the same way. But the other day, I was messing with him, and somehow the glue seal on the neck came loose. So now I'm able to rotate his head either way I want, so he can be looking up at Godzilla, forwards, or the other way. But I kind of like it better this way, so it can be more doing. So you can have him look at, like I said, Godzilla on his side, or this side, or just look forwards. But there was one thing, I was watching the movies the other day, and something else bothered me. This part right here, and I finally realized what really was bothering me the most. As I know this is Anguirus, and all of y'all should be able to know that. But right here on his top frill, or horns, well, this is his horn, this is his frill, just like Triceratopses have, or spikes on the top of his head. Our face, finally realized this, they're facing backwards. Give y'all a moment to process that they are facing backwards. If you go back and watch the movies, or look at pictures online, this is facing backwards. So I ended up heating this up before I started filming, so y'all wouldn't see me just taking a hair dryer and doing all this too with the loosen this up. But we're just gonna take our super glue right here, and we're just going to put some super glue on there, and we're going to face it the right way. And see, there we go. Now we got Anguirus. Horns are facing the right way, head can rotate. But at first, when I saw that the figure's head was twisted like this, I didn't know his neck was on a joint like this. I thought maybe it was just how it was molded. Had a little bit of glue come out of the seam right there. But while that is going, we're going to go on and move on to move that glue stuff out the way. But we're going to go on and do what we're going to touch up on. Or this might just be a repaint. Like I said, depends on how y'all want to look at it. But normally I start with a dark gray color, but since he's already dark gray, instead like on his hands, head, and his pieces, we're going to just start with that. Just taking some dark gray and just putting over some spot on here. Or I might just go on, just redo the whole thing, but I will bring y'all back once I get him all covered up. Alright, I got him all primed up and everything. Now I went on and did the whole body with the dark gray, because when I went back and checked it where I put the dark gray prime on the toes and horns, the color didn't match the rest of the body, so I went on, just gave it a fresh coat of the prime. So now I guess we're just gonna call this a repaint instead of just touch up, because I'm just gonna do the whole thing. Give y'all that little bit of a look. You can at least see his eyes where the little indent is, where his eyeball and the pupil is at, and where each tooth is now. Before you couldn't see all that. So now we're gonna move on to our next step. And what we're gonna need is a paper towel or tissue. I got a tissue instead of paper towel like normal. And what I'm gonna do is take some brown, and do some dry brushing on him, but we're going to try our best not to touch his back plate or his shell part, because that is actually a different color than the rest of his skin. But we're going to try and give him that little bit of a dirty look, since he does travel underground. If y'all can see that, move that out the way, maybe the camera will focus on him. Well, I will bring y'all back once I get him all dry brushed and everything. Hopefully y'all will be able to see what he looks like in the finished product. Alright, I got the dry brushing taken care of. It's been a little while, but if y'all could see that he's mostly brown now, is because I went on dry brush. Whoops, didn't mean to drop him. A lot on there, because of the way that it looks on pictures and in movies. He's a little dark, got dark brown in different places, especially on his stomach since he crawls. I took a little bit more dry brushing on there, but you can still see a little bit of the dark gray through the creases of his skin. And like I said, don't try your best not to get it on his back plates or his horns if you can help it. This horn right here did get some because I was trying to get the nose. But now we're going to move on to the next part, and that is another dry brushing. So what we're going to do is take the same paper, and this is really dried now. So what we're going to do is flip this over. And if you hear that, the noise in the background, that's my wash machine going off. If you hear something rattling. But what we're going to do is take another brown, but a lighter color, and I will show y'all the difference. This is the brown I just used. This is the brown we're going to use now. It's this is dark brown, or regular brown. This is a little bit lighter brown. I forgot what the name was, and this was the last bit I had. At least hopefully it's enough. But I think it's enough for what we're going to do, because we're going to take that brown, and what we're going to do, if I can get it on the paintbrush, is dry brush it, and we're going to just hit the high spots now with this one. So and what I mean by the high spots, more like where the light would be reflecting off of. But try to get most of the paint off and not have a lot left on it, so it will leave some of the dark brown under it. Especially the head, you want to use this one mostly for the head, or on top of his head. But I hope everybody's having themselves a good day or night, whichever one you are watching this video. Now I'm going to show you all the difference here. You see how lightly this looks towards this side being darker. You can tell the difference on it, and you can see a little bit where the head is right here. The difference from that to this. But this just brings it where it looks more like he is actually out and about. We're just gonna move on. Now I think we are about done. I'm gonna finish up with this, and I will bring y'all back once I get him fully done and we move on to the next step. Alright, we got it all dried, brushed, and everything. The main body is looking good. It looks a little bit better than just that pavement. I guess that was pavement because it was darker than the dark gray that I used for my prime. So I'm thinking that was probably pavement color that this originally was. But now it looks a lot better. There we go. Y'all can finally see it. For some reason didn't want to resin in. Maybe it's because I had both hands and I couldn't register it in. I don't know, but it looks a lot better. Now we're going to work on the back frill or his back shell. Yeah, his back shell, his frill's right here. My bad. That's my fault. And what we're going to need is a light gray color right here. I'll show y'all the name so y'all can see if y'all want to try this on your alls. If it will focus, and there you go. But it's just a lighter gray than the dark gray, and that's what we're going to use for the shell right here. Don't want to get this going. Now it looks white on camera and in person because it's wet, but once this dries, it'll be just like the color that we need. And it'll get darker towards the end because we're gonna add a little bit something to this. And also, if you're wondering why it looks so bright, it's because the lights that I have on. But like I said, it will darken up time it dries. Problem is, we also gonna have to go under here too to get right here, so I will bring y'all back in a moment. Alright, I didn't lose the footage. The camera died on me while I was doing this, but all I did was taking the gray right here and just added a little bit of brown to get the color right here. If the camera will focus, there you go. Just a little bit of brown to give it that little bit of a dirtiness look. So now we're going to move on to the hardest part of Anguirus, and that is going to be doing his spikes or frills, or basically just his spikes and his crown piece. So we're going to move on. We're going to take some bone color and do a little bit on here. I know the bone color looks close to this color right here, but it is not. That's going to be hard to see, so I will bring y'all back once I get all of his plates all covered up. Alright, I got all of his spikes done. Now, like I said, the back will probably be hard to spot, but on camera you can't really see it, but in person you can see the difference and where the spikes are and where the shell part is. So now we're going to move on after I give y'all a little bit of a 360 look on them. But now we're going to move on to the next step. Now, if you are following along, this is totally up to you if you want to do this part, but I am going to go on and do it. And that is giving it a black wash. So we're going to need a paper towel to wipe the black water off of it. So what we're going to do is take a little bit, but we're going to do it at the tail. Oops, sorry. I'm going to start at the tail. Now we're just going to take the paper towel and just wipe it off. Or wipe it off or clean it off or just dab it. Will work. Now, because this is a smaller figure, it's kind of harder to get into places. That's why I say use a paper towel, because you can absorb some more into it. So now I'm going to go on and do the rest, and I will bring y'all back in a little bit, because like y'all see, I'm pulling it out of camera focus, so I will bring y'all back in a moment. Alright, I got him all straight. The black wash. I went on and did the teeth and eyes off camera. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. But what I did was I followed the little imprints that where the eyes were. And I tried my best to follow the teeth lines, but it kind of looks kind of funny. But I do like how the fangs right here came out. Give y'all a little bit of a 360 look. So just in case y'all are following along, y'all see how y'all's would turn out. But this is just how I did it. There are probably different ways you could do it. But now we're going to move on to the matte varnish. My favorite part to do, because that means it's all said and done. And we're just going to coat it now. Alright, we are completed our not Gorsaurus, my bad, I'm still thinking about the other one. Anguirus. That is my fault, I am sorry about that. But yeah, we have our Anguirus from the Showa movies. Trying to give y'all a little bit closer look where y'all can see all the detail. I know that the camera is not showing, cannot really show y'all fully what it looks like. Mostly because my hand and everything, whoops, did not mean to do that. But the light and everything too. See if I can get the focus. There you go. Like I said, I just followed the teeth marks that was in already on here, and some of it kind of looks weird. But yeah, I think I did somewhat a good job trying to get to replicate the suit. Because mostly when you see Anguirus, he's mostly like coming out of the ground in some spots and shaking his head from all the dirt. There we go. The camera didn't want to focus. Like normally you see Anguirus climb out of the ground and shaking his head like this. Or more turning his head side to side. Yeah, I kind of needed to break that seal that the Varnish put on there. So I can still have his head movement. But I am glad I did know, I noticed that the crown piece right here, or his frill, that was facing backwards, and I'm glad I fixed that. Mostly, if yours is backwards, and you can really tell the difference because the head actually makes it where there's an indent because it shows that it was not meant to go that way. But I'm glad I did fix that, and hopefully if y'all have this figure, y'all are able to fix yours if yours is backwards too. Now that could have been just mine. If not, if you have an Anguirus figure and his head is frill piece right here is backwards, let me know in the comments, because I'm curious if it was just mine or other people's. But yeah, we are finished with Anguirus. And to do a size comparison, if you have bought the battle set of Godzilla, the minifigure battle set pack, you would get a Showa Godzilla right here, and he works good in scale with Anguirus, like what we got from the first movie that Anguirus appeared in. They also they are good in scale. Grant, when you get Anguirus, he is not in the pack with this. He mostly came in a pack. Well, I didn't get mine in the pack. I ended up getting mine separate than the others. But I am glad I did end up with Anguirus. Giving y'all a little bit of size comparison here. And you will probably see some more size comparisons and with him with other figures after I'm done showing him at the end of this video when I do the close-up shots. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if y'all don't mind hitting that bell icon, you will get notified for each new video that I put out. And videos are going to be coming out more frequently, hopefully. So I hope everybody's having themselves a good day or night. And like I said, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see everybody next time.